By the previous minutes.
Was there an update sent?
There was not an update. I'm not sure who would have that. Actually, Lance, you would probably be the best one to have that, wouldn't you? The last name of John, the backhoe guy.
Gilmet.
Gilmet, there we
Yes.
go.
It was an excavator.
Okay,
Yeah,
It was $275 it was for what we rented for that day. I think we had to write a smaller amount for over there. We took it from there and dug up the beaver on the
Crossroad.
Yeah.
You're getting as bad as I am.
okay, so correction to the minutes on, I believe you said page 3, John? I don't have my email right in
Don't
front of
remember
me.
the email that I sent, but I believe it was midway down.
The name is John Gilmet,
Kings Hill Trucking.
Kings Hill Trucking, and it is an excavator, not a backhoe. Just to clarify that. Tammy is
Dog tags.
trying to help me out with Zoom. Okay, we'll see. With that correction,
Yeah, this is going on.
was there any other
It would be for dog tags.
others?
No.
No?
I make a motion to accept the prior meeting's minutes as updated.
Okay,
I did have some,
okay, you have questions?
I have some updates that I sent to Tammy.
To Tammy?
Page 1, bottom of the page, town green, town common, this just minor changes.
Okay. Do you have a,
And
so you're
She
saying?
has a hard copy right there. She's
Okay, so page 1, change town green to town common,
yep,
okay?
and then I did not remember Lance asking about the Historical Society doing something on October 1st.
I asked, yeah.
You did?
Yes.
So,
I didn't, you said you'd think about it or something like that, did you? Well, you obviously didn't have an answer right at the moment. You wanted to consult with others to see if they were willing to help.
the only thing that we do is probably ice cream,
Ice cream?
probably.
Paul Dreyer was going to be here tonight. He could not. He had something came up in his life. Life happens.
Yep.
He's going to be here at the next meeting. We, right now, at this time, are still planning on trying to do something around October 1st.
And how many people are you expecting at that event? 10 to 200?
Something like that.
Okay, gotcha.
20.
If we're lucky. Yep,
I have no idea.
Yeah.
It depends on how well it's advertised. They intend on pushing it because they'd like to get the community's input. We're jumping down about 10 lines here,
Yeah,
but
okay. Okay. Carry on.
okay, so, we have a motion from John to accept the previous minutes as amended. Do I have a second?
I will.
Second.
Okay.
Okay, Terry is seconded.
Second.
All those in favor of accepting
Aye.
the minutes?
Aye.
And I will abstain, passes 3-0. Terry, those don't work tonight.
Oh, that's right. Forgot we don't need to do that. It's a good thing because I forgot it.
Warrants are going around. Are you both set with those? We're done. All right, I'll pass them down here. And here you go, Terry. And finances, we got the report last meeting, correct?
Yes.
I was absent, sorry. So, was there anything that required any attention? Just for my own?
Not immediately.
No, okay, good. Others on the consent agenda. Okay, moving right along. Visitors. Ms. Cribb.
So I'm here with my library hat on.
All right,
And this is with regards to the library floor. We have an expensive problem. So, just to give you a little background, so 16-ish years ago, there was an asbestos problem was identified. And to mitigate that, the decision was made, and I don't know who made the decision before my time, to get carpet that was glued down. And it was glued, I think, because that was the only way to mitigate the asbestos
Okay.
issue. Fast forward 16 years, we have a disgusting situation, and the carpet is just awful.
Is the question, is this for downstairs?
No, this is for the main.
Oh, the main
floor,
floor, okay.
Yeah, so, we actually came, I say we, members of the trustees came to the ARPA meeting, I'm looking at John because it was
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, thank you.
Approximately, July 27th, oh, it was July 27th.
Right, so we were bringing this issue for ARPA funds is what we were hoping for. The issue is, it sounds like that's maybe several months out, certainly not before the end of the year is the impression we got. So I just wanted to give you like a full picture of the situation. So the carpet is cleaned once a year. The last time the guy came to clean the carpet, he said it cannot be cleaned again because it's falling apart.
Yeah.
So that asbestos problem it's not going away. We found out about 3 weeks to a month ago that he also said on that occasion that there is probably a mold problem because there's an area of that carpet which never seems to dry out. So the way we're handling that right now is when kids are in the library for story time or whatever, there's another piece of carpet that just goes over the top. So that's what we're doing. It's not optimum by any stretch of the imagination. I do not have a copy of the actual presentation that Cheryl put together because of technical issues today. But the bottom line is the asbestos removal and cleanup, and she's got quotes on all of this as much as she could. So the asbestos removal and cleanup is $5,000. The new flooring and labour is about $5,000, and then we're looking at $400 for a storage system for all the books and everything while that's being done. So we're
For
looking
what?
at
What was the other?
Storage.
the storage of the books because everything will have to come out while that
They'll have to
flooring is
empty the whole
removed.
building,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. So we're looking at just over 10,000, I believe. I do my math right. Yeah. So about $10,000, 10 and a half for that project. So I talked to Ginger, parent, this week as the health officer to find out if there was anything that we should be doing that we're not aware of, given the mold problem. She said there's not a problem, let me rephrase that, there's nothing additional we need to do except we need to fix it, and we need to use a company that is licensed and all of that stuff. She did tell me that if we make a complaint about the asbestos to the state, there's a possibility that there is some assistance with mitigating that asbestos. She couldn't get a hold of the guy today, so she's doing that tomorrow. So fingers crossed there'll be some help there.
Do we have insurance?
It's a town,
You know,
the library is a municipal entity now.
which is why I'm here, because it's
Okay.
a town.
But do we have insurance?
We have insurance through the Vermont League of Cities and Towns.
Yeah, building, yeah.
As far as covering that, I am not sure.
No.
Okay.
And
We'll have to look into it.
Because usually they will cover black mold.
Right, I think the asbestos would be that's gonna be the bigger bill
Right.
there.
more expensive.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, and speaking of the league, you may recall last November, they did a impromptu inspection of the buildings, told us that we had an asbestos problem, but we have not seen a report. Well, they said we'd be getting a report, but we haven't seen anything. So I don't know if the town has, if that's,
We had a report from that inspection, but I don't remember if it included the library or not.
because
Do
we
you?
haven't seen
I
anything. And
don't
they were
remember
like,
seeing anything about the library on it.
really? Because they told us we had like 4 different issues.
Yeah, they pointed out some issues with this building as well at that time. I'm sorry, I don't recall the library being on it.
No, because all the issues we had were inside, the railing being a half inch too high,
Yeah.
the lip being a quarter inch too high.
And
That
like
was
a 3/8 of an inch too narrow.
Yeah,
Really.
that was that one. I don't remember seeing anything. You were on that,
Yeah.
weren't you? Do you remember anything? I don't remember anything from the library.
Nothing from the library.
Kathy has that report.
It is?
I'm just looking for it right now.
Okay.
He said
Did we not get the whole
Trying
thing?
to update it, it was the town garage here and the library at the same time. I just haven't found it yet.
Okay, so and honestly, we haven't pursued it because part of it was,
Yeah.
we were sort of talking about the asbestos problem anyway. So the bottom line is, there may be some assistance, from the state. We've no idea what that looks like right now. We've requested the ARPA funds. I know that's a whole process that's gonna take some months.
At worst case scenario, I think we just put it on the agenda for the annual town meeting and request the funds at that time.
Yeah.
Is it possible to wait that long?
I mean, I don't know.
I'm
is the
surprised
answer.
that people can be in there if it, I mean, have you had the mold tested to see
So
what type?
this was literally a conversation right before the ARPA meeting where Cheryl said, oh, and there's the mold, potential mold. Then we went,
Yeah,
what potential mold? So we don't know. We haven't.
So
had that.
nobody's tested it
We
to
have not had that
this
tested.
potential mold, okay.
He
I think-
just suspected. So no one has had any. There's been no symptoms. The librarians are not having any health issues. So
Good.
there's nothing to make us think that there's a problem other than the rug guy said
Okay.
that doesn't look good.
Have you contacted anybody to test it?
No.
They have to tear the rug up, right? I guess to see if there's mold underneath the rug.
But
and
if
then
they
you'll release-
take a patch up right now, it isn't gonna make any difference, really.
Well,
You're,
yeah.
you're putting another rug over the top of it
Asbestos
anyway.
into the room.
Right, but I think the rug is working as a
Barrier.
asbestos barrier.
Yeah, the glue is holding the asbestos down. The mold is above the glue.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we just didn't want to open a can of worms without having a conversation.
Can you get to that point from underneath?
I don't know.
No, there's a
because
ceiling?
so the flooring will be. as you
That
say,
will expose the asbestos.
Okay. Yep, you're right. I just wasn't sure if the floor system was open downstairs, or if there's. It's been a long time since I've been in
It-
the basement.
I think the first step is to find out what you're dealing with completely.
Yep.
Because if it's mold that people shouldn't be in there, they really should lock the door until you can get it straightened out.
Which,
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
but you don't want it to come back on
right?
town when
No, it's
somebody
exactly
comes
why
with
I'm
some
here.
sort of
No,
sickness.
Exactly why I'm here. So I really wanted to get your support in moving ahead with that, knowing
Have
that
it.
it's potentially going to cost
Well,
money that we haven't got.
I think that we are responsible for covering any kind of test for mold
Okay.
at this point. We already know we have an asbestos problem. So that's a given, and that needs to be taken care of as well. But I think the more immediate problem, since the asbestos is glued down by a barrier of glue between the rug and the
Do they
asbestos,
have a water issue in there?
I think it's important that you find out whether this potentially mold
Yeah.
problem is harmful or not.
Okay.
So get that, in my opinion, we need to get that tested as soon as possible.
Yeah, that
I
would be.
think what she was saying was that when the individuals come in to clean the carpet, they're seeing that there's an area that doesn't dry properly once they clean the carpet. So
So
they're putting the water
Yeah,
down.
so what's causing
Yeah, as I say,
the
is there
wet?
is
Is it just cleaning the carpet or is there water coming in somewhere that's?
There's no evidence of water coming in on the walls or down.
none of the books in that particular area are showing any signs of
No.
because that would
Yeah.
they usually will wrinkle up pages or something if there's a lot of moisture in that area.
Yeah. So there's no visible damage.
Okay.
Water damage that we're aware of.
No kids peeing on the carpet.
Oh,
I would
Cats,
Yeah.
dogs.
yeah.
I
I would
animals in the library, so.
Okay.
I would definitely say yes. Get it tested ASAP.
So
Come
if we
back
get
to
it
us.
tested, how do we? I don't know how much money we have in our account to pay for that kind of stuff. So how does that work?
Submit.
Just submit it.
Yeah, submit it because if it's something where you have to shut down the library, you'll save on other stuff.
Yep.
So there's the potential to offset some of that cost. And,
Okay.
but yeah,
Do we know?
it's
Is there somebody that you would recommend that we use? I mean, I don't know how that works.
I mean, there's
Usually
Any
the
home
insurance
inspector
company
should be able to
usually
do
hires
that.
Like
yeah.
I know somebody that just had that whole ordeal in their kitchen
Yeah.
Okay.
and the insurance company hired all the testing and
That might be worth looking into just
Yeah.
to contact-
VLCT?
Yeah.
So we can contact them and say.
Yes.
Yep. Who would you go? Would the library contact them themselves, or would they? go through.
They're a municipal entity, they should
Okay.
be able to contact the VLCT directly.
Okay. All right, I will do that this week, or one of us will do that this week, and then we'll.
Shoot us an email, let us know, because if that's
Um,
something that,
The one who has been dealing with the insurance company the most lately is Brenda Churchill. She might be of some assistance, however, she's not going to be here this week.
Okay.
She's out of town.
Okay. All right. Well, we will see what we can find out. Thank you, sir.
excellent.
Be careful of the wire.
Good luck.
Good luck.
You always
What
have
the
to-
heck are you trying to do?
It's his wire. Banjo to wire.
He did not copy you guys with that, with this.
Okay.
We're not looking at the camera guy.
Did you find it, Matt? Thank you.
Got through all the FEMA stuff. It was in there.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
This part's the simple part,
Excellent.
okay? This is asking to use the second floor of the town hall as a potential place to try to overwinter the geraniums that were put in that center flower bed. The cemetery commission purchased 125 red geraniums.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a possibility of overwintering them,
Sharon does. She overwinters hers.
okay? We will pick her brain.
Grandma Gates used to.
She keeps
My
them
mother does.
in the sunroom. You talk to her. I'm not
They have
gonna.
to have lots of sun,
But yeah,
lots of light. My
Well,
mother puts
there's-
hers in her bay window.
yeah. There's big windows upstairs. You may have to have some
The
makeshift
only thing
tables to
is,
put them in the windows.
upstairs here,
Yeah.
that's cold up there.
Does it freeze?
Probably
I don't know
not.
if it freezes, but boy, I bet it's too
Probably
cold
not.
for geraniums.
We would just like it as a potential.
Hers?
Potentially, I mean, if they want to try it,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, we're not guaranteeing your geraniums are gonna survive.
Right, we just need this as an option, you know?
But
Yes.
as I said, Sharon has a few that she overwinters, and they do great next in the summer. So
Okay. So we checked with different people.
Yeah.
Mary Porter in Fairfield Center. She dries hers out and then starts them again in the spring.
Sharon's get pretty dry.
Yeah,
So
She
and they
dries
come
them?
back.
She dries them?
she dries them. She takes them out on a sunny day. After the first frost, or before the first frost, she pulls them, shakes all the dirt off them, puts them on a sheet, puts them in her garage every day that there's a sunny, warm day. She pulls them out, opens it up for the sun to dry them.
No, Sharon puts them in pots,
Yeah.
but they get pretty darn dry.
So we're looking at all options because there's a lot of money invested in those plants. And we have a good group of volunteers that are willing to, you know, do what they can to try to overwinter those as well as the geraniums that are in the urns. And there's at least another 13 geraniums out there.
I mean, there's dozens of nurseries around, so
Yes, but those geraniums run over $5 a piece.
yeah, you got Breezy Acres, yeah, all kinds of places.
You're looking for approval
You
to
need
use
to
the
store?
upstairs to store them. That's all you're
As a
looking
po-
for.
As an option.
Yes. I don't see any problem with it. Kathy.
You might have to work
Kath
with
was-
Kathy.
I spoke with Kathy,
You did.
late last week. And, you had already spoken with her,
Lisa-
that's been put on.
Lisa Stone and-
Yep, and she said she didn't have any
Bakersfield
issues.
Garden Club that's in charge of this project. They're trying
Perfect.
to overwinter.
Yep, she said that she couldn't see any issues with it, so, you know, as far as the building goes, so she was good for it, and
Okay,
I think we're all set here, so yes.
okay, thank you very much.
I've got some rough pine boards if you wanna make some tables and set them up in the windowsill. Or up higher so the sun does get to them, whatever you find out is recommended.
That's a
I
lot,
could I could help with that.
that's a lot of geraniums to prepare.
Yeah. I'm not
Excellent.
green thumb at all, so.
And just so everybody else on the board knows, I gave Linda 2 more names of, potential names to go on the monument. And you're gonna check those,
I'm gonna check those.
maybe 2 14s for us.
If I could, Josh.
Yes.
I just want to understand one thing about the monument, if we're going to talk about that for a
Yep.
second. Does the National Guard also qualify for the monument if they were deployed?
Yes.
Yes, some of their names are already on there.
Okay, because there's a Christopher Ward that was deployed, I think, last year, and he lived in Bakersfield at the time. He just moved in over on Butternut.
Okay.
Was he deployed before that, ever?
I don't know. I just know he was away. They got married, moved up here, and he was shipped out for a year, I believe it was.
And then he got a DD 214 when he was released from active duty?
I'll have to ask him. I know he's still serving in the Guard, so I you know, but they deployed, I know a bunch of people were deployed from Vermont in 2021, including my son-in-law. It was our rotation to send them all over. He went to Kosovo and spent a year in Kosovo.
The key for him would be that home of record,
The DD 214.
the DD 214.
Okay, I'll ask him if he has it.
Active duty.
I'll ask
So
him if he has it.
they have to come off of active duty for that?
No, they don't have to come on
Okay.
active duty, but in his case, he was in the National Guard, so they put them on active duty and then they take them off.
Okay.
They don't keep them on
Okay.
active duty.
Yeah, because one of the other ones that I was talking to you about is also a National Guard. So, but he was in that same deployment to Kosovo. So,
Oh, okay.
yep.
Yeah, so I'll find out about the DD 214. I'm bringing it up before we go employ. I know you sent some quotes. You sent 3 quotes. which
Yeah,
you
we
guys
can-
have
Yes.
used.
We can discuss that right now while we're on topic.
Okay.
That's an easy one.
Yep, it is.
I just need to get back to the folks that,
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. So Linda has done the legwork on getting the estimate for adding Jamie Stone to the honor roll monument out here. Just to do a little more legwork, looking at the other names for us, but the quotes go as follows. Plouffe Monument has a $175 veterans discount. Otherwise, they would be $213, based on the number of letters that we're looking at here. Champlain Monuments, flat rate of, or $225 based on the number of letters, correct?
225 based on the number of letters.
Okay.
And if they did more than one, there'd be a discount on that.
Okay, and do you know, it probably wouldn't be
It's
$50.
still, no. it's
No,
still
okay.
wouldn't be that.
And then Goss's funeral service, was $250 based on the numbers.
Who was the first one?
Plouffe's Monument, if you,
And they do a veterans discount, 175 regardless of number of letters. One of their ways of supporting veterans.
awesome.
So is the 213 already with the 175 off, or is the 170?
No, disregard, if it wasn't a veteran, okay,
Yeah, if you were
then
just,
it would be 213
Okay.
on that name.
175 is a flat rate for any veteran's name being added to
That's
any
what I was
monument.
told.
Okay. Based off these numbers, I think I would be willing to give the go-ahead on Jamie and on any other veterans that are not on the monument to be added.
Well,
I would entertain a motion.
I would like to make,
175 a name, right?
Flat rate, yep.
I'd like to make a motion that we accept Plouffe's bid at $175 per name. At this point, we have 3 possible names to go on to the ad, 4?
4
Excuse me.
potential names.
Okay, I missed one.
Yep.
4 possible names.
We have a second?
I second that motion. I apologize.
Motion has been made and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right.
thank you.
And they can just, yeah, and they can bill, that wouldn't be that would just be the town,
Right.
not the, because that's not the
These are
cemetery
coming out of the
commission.
general
Yep,
fund, yeah.
general fund, yep, perfect.
Yeah.
All right. We are on to roads. Linda, did you get that 4th name? Did you want to check into that one too, or
Yes, would you please?
Christopher Ward? And by all means, if anybody that watches this or reads the minutes, has a name that's not on the monument and they were living in Bakersfield during active duty, please come forward and let us know.
And served in wartime.
Served during wartime, correct. And you just block the TV.
Yeah, well,
Oops, sorry.
Is this, I thought, is that a week or every other week?
I believe it's every other.
So did you do it in 1 week?
Cleaning services coming weekly or every?
Weekly.
Weekly.
And
1
once a
hour.
month for this area.
Say again?
Once a month for this area, weekly for the
So
office
it's
area.
supposed to be
An hour
one
and a
and a
half.
half each week, right?
It is, we pay her hourly. We didn't set a limit on our time. How long did she take? I forgot.
It says 3 on here, but we did set a limit when we took.
3 would be 2 weeks. Because
It is
she's
for
paid
2
every 2
weeks?
weeks, yeah.
Is that what's on?
We do
the-
warrants every 2 weeks, basically, so.
Okay, cause it just gives 1 week, that, the date is just 1 week, that's why I wondered.
Oh,
So,
it would,
I believe she came in twice.
it would bear
Okay.
checking into.
So
but
it's
the-
just the way the
She came in
thing's
and said
written
something
out.
to Kathy about
I-
a couple things. And
yeah,
Yeah, I believe it's just the way it's written up.
yeah,
Okay.
probably,
Okay.
yeah. I did okay.
I just wanted to make sure that,
I did-
Yeah.
I did okay the purchase of a couple small items. Kathy called me and I came up, for instance, the mop bucket that you see here
Yep.
and, a small portable vacuum as the shop vac wasn't sufficient.
Yeah, it was less than $100.
Yeah,
so-
that's what Kathy said.
Who handles the trash? Is it the cleaning folks? Cause that kills me every time I come in for a meeting. Wait,
Wow.
let me turn. That kills me every time I come in for a meeting.
Kathy
does?
usually gets on the radio and tells us to come up and get it.
Bag of trash that goes in.
that bag of trash,
No, the way, well, I'm an aesthetics kind of guy and just seeing a pile of trash, I'll bring a trash can over, we can hook it to the side of the thing and put the trash where it belongs in a can. But
Well, we-
just piling it up in the doorway
We
is
take
horrible.
it over to the,
Yeah. I,
school.
It's
no
aesthetics.
offense, Mac, but,
It's aesthetics.
it is an aesthetic thing, and
Oh, yeah, but she.
if we were having
Yes.
guests here tonight, no offense to Linda,
Who is it going?
who is a guest, it would be nice to have,
And she said something this morning, I would take it over.
Can you check like on Mondays and just come over and just get it and go? Do we have a dumpster?
No, we take it to school.
I mean, hell, if you don't wanna do it, I'll do it.
Yeah, we have meetings almost every Monday, so.
I don't think he's saying he doesn't wanna do it. He's just saying that it didn't,
I know.
she didn't radio to him today.
I know, but at least every other Monday,
And
yes.
like I said, usually she got on the radio and she'll call down the shop and leave a
We can
message
give him
saying.
crap for it.
If we can make it a Monday stop, don't wait for Kathy. Personally, I'd appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you, Matt.
I know it's a great burden on you, Mac, but,
I think we signed that already, but they sent another thing saying it wasn't signed and needed to be returned.
That was the one we just signed.
Yeah, that's a different one.
No, I mean, we just signed this like, 3 meetings ago.
Yeah, it could be. I almost thought we signed it one meeting when you weren't here to draw. I thought I had 2 things for him to sign and I think that was one of them, but I'm not gonna say for sure.
yeah, we thought we were done sending things into FEMA too.
Yeah.
That's way down on the list. Don't start. No, it's been taken off the list.
Oh, good.
Oh, it's
Good.
on my list.
It's on your list.
On the bottom,
How many signatures does this require?
I believe it's just you.
No, I mean
You
like,
have to
just,
read the whole thing.
I did. You didn't see me? I just read through it and
That's the one for 31
16 pages, yes.
and it's for, basically the thing that Bethany.
Yes,
Northwest
site
Solid Waste,
scope and, yeah,
Yeah.
It's to
No.
make improvements on that, so
okay.
I'm really hoping for a,
Grantee, Town of Bakersfield. That's where we would need to sign.
Well, I thought we did sign this, but,
I'm pretty sure we did.
okay.
And we went over it and we read through it and,
I've signed enough, or we had you sign enough of them that
no.
I could have put it somewhere in.
Maybe I mailed it to
wrong.
This is just making sure that we have parties or such a way. So this is just saying that we're eligible for grants. We have all the right stuff to be eligible for grants.
Yeah, I got something saying it's approved for 31, I think it was 30.5.
Yeah, I think that's on this page
I
right
don't know
here.
what the match-
31 even.
I'm sure there's a matching part to it.
Matching kinds 7,750.
But
So
I mean, if we gotta do the work anyway for the erosion stuff.
It's not gonna take long to come up with 7,700.
no,
Where's that for?
it's grants. It just states that we have all of the
Hydrologically connected roads that come into a brook.
Oh,
and we have all
Yeah,
the
the Northwest Regional Planning Commission has been doing a study through the summer,
yeah.
and
And this states that we have
That
all the
made us-
insurance and the liability and all that stuff to receive the grants.
Yep.
As a
we had to have that study done.
gotcha.
And then there's a percentage of this, whatever they find in the study, there's a percentage that we're supposed to have done by fall, so been kind of waiting for, with the excavator, to get the report so we can spend this money, which would be nice because we're gonna spend some money.
Yeah, there's a certain percentage of it that has to be done this year.
And some of it's been done.
Yeah.
And I'm sure
Yep.
they found that, so, but. And some of the
And we're running out of time for this year.
excavator's coming on the 12th of September.
It's gonna be snowing in 3 weeks.
The way it fell this, we could thought it was gonna snow
Put
last
your
year.
tongue on that.
If you don't wanna bite it, stick your tongue out, I'll go hit you in the head. Jesus.
thought it was gonna get real friendly there for a minute. Oh, the legals.
Yeah,
I just making sure there wasn't another signature requirement in here. Cause sometimes they like to bury one.
here's the thing, you signed it, so you should be reading all those pages.
Yeah, I know. No gifts or gratuities, so I'm out.
No? What the hell?
Means we can't tip him or give him a Christmas bonus. Cost them Jersey. Cannot buy materials and resell them to the state for a profit.
Yeah, that's just what we wanna do.
Any equipment for a loan basis only remains property of the state. If they let you borrow a piece of equipment, it's still theirs. They're just letting us borrow it. That's the type of stuff they have to lay out in this.
We'll let you borrow a piece of equipment.
Ownership of equipment. Any equipment purchased by or furnished by the grantee by the state under this grant agreement is provided on a loan basis only and remains the property of the state.
We don't usually get it from state anyway.
No, I know.
You get one of those fancy ditchers.
Oh, is it free through the state?
No,
No, it's matching. Oh, you mean
No,
the
the
equipment?
Oh.
Yeah,
No.
they'll let you use it.
Yeah, but you know how state is, it's probably pretty good, that stuff.
Yeah. You have to have all this work done by
at
next
the
week.
end of the game, you pay enough or you think you should own it.
Okay, that one is signed, ready to be sent in again. Any other fun road stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
whole list,
good, good.
Oh, boy.
I was worried we were gonna get out of here early.
Oh, this won't take long.
Okay.
Right down. The hydro seeder is here.
Woohoo! Did you take a
That's-
picture?
Let me cross that out.
Did you take a picture of you using
I
it?
haven't taken, well, we haven't used it yet. I got sidetracked. They picked it up, Mark and Dan picked it up the day I had my surgery, so.
Okay,
They, put it on a trailer, brought it down, dropped it off, bought some of the stuff that you put in to make it work.
yep,
So now we just gotta put it back on the trailer.
find a ditch.
Gotta find something, put it that way. And, shoot it, take a picture, and I got a few more papers to fill out from Bethany, and then we'll get reimbursed for that.
Excellent.
To correct me, what was our, or enlighten me, what was our share of that? It was about,
Thought it was just under $2,000.
Yeah, totally.
It was like, I think it was 15, but
Yeah.
okay,
it was supposed to be a $7,500 grant, and it was closer to 8,000
Yeah.
with all the, with inflation stuff, so I
Right.
think we're gonna be on for two.
Okay.
But
Well, 2 out of 8 isn't bad. I
this
like
is
that.
true, not for that, I mean, it's a nice piece, looking piece of equipment.
well, that's because it's 50 years younger than any other piece of equipment we've got.
Well, there's-
Now take care of it.
Of course. We were told.
It's under the eaves
Pass
down
that
there.
on to your coworkers.
They were the ones that picked it up, and they were told, when you get, you don't add the stuff till it's full, the tank is full or something like this, and you gotta keep it mixing in the time. And when you put some in, you use every bit of it during the day, you don't leave any of it sitting in there, because apparently
Right.
it'll turn into cement.
Oh, nice.
So they heard the spiel, I didn't hear the spiel, but I think the book is still
So
on
you
the-
probably hose it out after every
Yeah.
use.
Put a tank of water, or a couple hundred gallons of water, just to make sure nothing's in the pump or whatnot. Yeah,
So can we keep a maintenance sheet with that?
yep, we're supposed to, according to Bethany's thing, we're supposed to have a maintenance, wasn't a log, it was a maintenance plan or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got all the trucks and grader and loaders, that we have maintenance down there in a book that we write.
Perfect.
Nice. I don't think I'm quite perfect, but. John's the only one kind of laughing.
Yeah,
I'm leaving this alone.
yeah.
That's why he wears a mask.
Yeah, that's right,
Can't
exactly.
tell anything.
Thanks for taking care of the tree. Or
Yeah.
having the tree taken care of. I don't know if
On
everybody.
King.
Yeah,
King Road.
Yeah.
Irwin's driveway.
That was
Yeah,
a weird storm yesterday.
that was.
Never rained on that in town.
I know.
We got the
Never
Yeah,
rained
no,
in
it
Fairfield.
rained for about less than 10 minutes.
Oh,
Just enough to get me
I
wet.
knew. I said to the kids, because I had this big old pile of cardboard I was getting ready to torch. So I know I sprayed it down with charcoal fuel, torched it, and boom comes this big thing of thunder, and I'm like, oh boy.
You did.
Next
That's
thing
right,
I know, that
You see with the cloud.
I'm like, it's
Yeah, there you
never good when it comes from that direction.
No, that's-
Thank gosh that thing burnt like that, because when that wind came, I was like, oh boy, this is not pretty. My neighbors are not gonna be happy. Heck no. It was just cardboard boxes.
Recyclable.
Anywho,
Saturday morning.
how are the roads?
That's too much
We're not
work.
there yet.
We're not there yet. We're not there to the roads.
The grader is temporarily down right now, it's got a brake problem, the brake line got ripped out from underneath it, apparently.
Wow.
So there's a brake, they got ordered today, it happened on Friday, they got ordered today, they're supposed to be 3 to 5 days
It's,
out.
it's not like truck 3, is it?
No,
How many weeks has that been?
well.
Wait, what happened?
Brake line,
A brake line on the grader.
On the grader.
so that in conjunction with the fact that it needed 2 batteries today. So yeah, it's a little bit like truck 3, but for, you know what I'm saying?
How many weeks has truck 3 been out?
That's truck 1.
Truck 1, I'm
That's
sorry.
about 9 or 10 right now.
9 or 10?
Oh,
Waiting-
Lord.
Waiting for parts. Yes,
And
Mark.
truck one is Mark's.
because it's 4-wheel drive,
It's-
special brake.
It's a little truck.
Yeah, yeah.
It's,
And who was driving the grader?
who was driving the grader, Mark was.
It's a common thread, is that what you're getting at there?
No,
Well, what happened? What caused the brake line to?
I don't know.
I mean, is
I
it
don't
just
know.
the?
He was hogging some edge of the road off. It's up underneath the grader. I really don't know how it would have happened. Unless when he was pulling the wad in and it was sitting in the middle of the road because your boat or
Mhm.
something could have been stuck up and because the brake line is quite a ways up there. And
It just falls under the category where jet
yeah,
happens.
I think
Okay.
Yeah.
Grader broke. Our chloride guy called
Uh-oh.
Thursday. Wanted to know, since we've got 2 tanks and he didn't charge us for the second tank, can he fill those tanks? Because he has extra product and he wants to empty them out before the end of the year. So I had Dan call him back on Friday and he got a little huffy with us because I set up a tank and whatnot and now you don't want to take it. But he also said in the same breath, and Dan told him, you gotta wait till Monday, I can ask the board if we can afford chloride right now. He also said, well, if you can't afford chloride, I can always wait till the first of the year and bill it then. So I'm like, well, I think that's kind of, and I don't know if it's gonna be, I would imagine it's gonna be cheaper now or the first of the year than it will be.
And that'll stay.
That'll stay, because we had 2/3 of a tank left over last year.
Mm-hmm.
So, and what's the price right now?
I believe it's 98 cents a gallon. So you're talking about close to $10,000. But
If you'll hold.
yeah,
If you hold it to the first of the year,
If you'll
yeah.
hold to the first of the year, I wouldn't see why not.
because that would be two of the tank loads that we need next year, you know what I'm saying?
And I would just make it perfectly clear to him that
Right.
That's 2 less loads you're gonna sell
Oh, he
next year.
understands that.
Okay,
He understands, because that's actually 2 loads out of 3, because we're
He's-
contracted to make 3.
From what I understand, he's just trying to rotate his product
He's trying to get it out of there apparently so he can get the rail cars out of there. And,
so he can get the new product in, yeah.
Yeah.
He's got some left over from last year.
yeah, and he was calling around, and Dan said I'd call him back tomorrow morning, which I will, but I don't know.
I would say as long as he can lock in the price, or if the price goes down, we're not gonna pay 98 cents in January when it's 69 cents.
No, but everything else is,
Well, yeah, I know,
It's
I know.
going
but
up.
yeah, I'm sure it will.
Yep.
I mean, diesel's coming.
Wouldn't that
down.
make, I mean, I'd hate to buy something now that could go down, but like you said, I don't foresee anything going down really.
And it's, you know,
But what would make it go up? What would make chloride go up?
Supply.
Like,
Supply and
just the supply
Yeah,
piece of it?
in the spring when we need it, everybody needs it.
plus you
So-
have to truck it here, and fuel tag, and the fuel cost, plus that comes in on a rail car, and it comes in to New York on a rail car, so there's a lot of movement involved in this stuff,
Gotcha.
which would be.
This would actually put us ahead for next year, correct?
It would, then when we're doing chloride, that's why the second tank got put in there, because that way you don't have to wait till this tank is empty to order another load. So now we got 2 tanks, they're both full. When this one gets empty, we'll order the 3rd load and have it done.
Okay.
You know, and if we do get ahead monetarily, we
Yep.
can always fill it every fall if he's got it and, you know, have it done with. Well, not done with, but
I don't see any problem with it. I mean, obviously there's risk in buying ahead with anything, you know, but I also don't see the price of anything going down right off here.
Not significantly, no.
So I would say if he can hold the bill until January 1st,
I mean,
we'll
we've been
take
dealing with
it.
him since we started doing liquid, so I mean, he's pretty honest.
Yep, no, that's,
FEMA update? Did you get my last one from Kim this afternoon? She replied, she sent that,
Yes, I did.
is everybody
Yes.
having the trouble with FEMA? Are we just special?
I think
We're
was
special.
Okay.
And everybody that had Rufus is on that special list.
because
They're all behind.
Waterville and Whitney were originally small projects. Okay, and then they got jacked up to large projects with the mitigation.
One of them might be back down to a small project again.
Waterville,
Whitney. Waterville, yes.
Waterville's a mess.
Because yeah, it was, but we had it, they estimated it 135,000. Mac and I figured out that we actually spent 124
20 something.
something, I think.
And what's the cutoff?
132,000 is the cutoff for large project.
And if they've already obligated it, well. But,
On the other hand, Whitney came in about $10,000 more than they
Okay.
thought, so it's a wash.
but Richard wanted the permits for the Whitney project. He wanted 3 or 4 things that we've given FEMA 3 or 4 times. So not having his phone number, Lance called Kim this morning and we talked to her. And she was able to get on the portal and say, oh yeah, here are the permits here, so you don't need the
Yeah,
permits.
they're right here, yeah.
But then she wanted the pre-bid, the paper advertisement that, you know, for the contract itself, the winning bid, and anybody that bid on all the different bids, she wanted all that stuff. So we called Tyler, and Tyler shipped them to us, and we shipped them to her. She has sent Whitney to FEMA.
So why
It's gone
why
back
are
to
these
FEMA.
people from the state, why are they dealing with you guys instead of just dealing with
Because we
the
have-
other state guy?
Because we have to prove what we spent.
Well, if you've
We've
proved
already
it to
done-
this guy once and he's got all the documentation, he's sending it back to
It's
you
not,
and then.
that's simple compared to the way it actually goes.
That's FEMA.
Okay, we did FEMA. We
Okay.
proved it all to FEMA. FEMA closed out. They're done. Supposedly washed their hands of it. Turned it over to Vermont Emergency Management. Okay? Vermont Emergency Management can't access the portal, which is where all the information is stored. So we had to create packets for these large projects. They were, what, 60,
Oh, 89 pages according to that last one.
89 pages each, okay? And we sent that down and they have more information and read that.
What's this one? Who's this one for?
Down the bottom where it says 4 to 6.
6 months.
So Vermont Emergency Management is gonna collect this same information that we
Who is
gathered
this from?
for
Sorry.
That's from
Richard Hosking.
Okay.
Okay, and he's, yeah, and they're apparently, Vermont Emergency Management is gonna gather all this information up, review it themselves and turn it back into FEMA.
and some approval guy from FEMA is gonna approve it.
So we just added another layer.
So
Is
this could
this
take
for
an
the road
extra.
down by Deanna and Rodney's?
This is, no, this
No.
is for
Well-
like 4 different projects.
It's
Whitney.
Road.
So we still didn't get the Whitney Road one.
No, we haven't got Whitney. We haven't
We've
got.
very little. No,
this
it's not
one or
it's
the
not
bridge?
They're still working on the bridge.
Okay.
That's supposed to be
Yeah.
paved and guardrail on the last week of August.
And the bridge is different, that's been obligated.
Yeah, that's been obligated and it's a
That's what I
large
thought.
project, as long as we make it by the deadline.
Right.
So 4 to 6 months. We're talking election time.
And we're hoping that's only for a week.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been paid for Trowbridge, Jordan, Goat Path, demo.
Okay.
So we've got the general road repair, which was 169693, which is the gravel in all the little
Yep.
spots all over town. We haven't been paid for that. That's $54,000. Waterville Mountain Road's 135, Whitney Road's 173, Goat Path is 614.
So we're looking at about what's an 8 about
And we've been
900,000
reimbursed for some. It's
Yeah, but
overall
from
everything
here
is
up-
1.1 million.
From
Okay.
here up. We're looking at about 900,000
Yeah,
that hasn't been paid.
yeah.
90% of it.
Now,
So yeah,
some of this,
we're down 90.
we took 64,000 out of this one.
Ooh.
And,
Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
and we're paying. interest
64 out of
on these loans while we're holding,
614.
Right? So we take
Yes.
the loan, we wait for them to pay us, we
Yes.
should be getting paid, we're not getting paid, and we have to pay the interest on the loan.
What do you think
We're not
Mac
getting
and I
the
are
interest.
freaking going ballistic
What do you think
about?
these
We're not the only
calculators?
town though, because I heard Montgomery
No.
complaining about it too.
Montgomery's
Yeah,
in the same boat.
we're not alone in this.
No.
Yeah.
Terry's absolutely right.
Okay.
It's just very freaking
it
frustrating. You'd
sounds-
think after all the time that they've been doing this, they could have come up with a simpler method.
Well, they all went on COVID retreats.
Well, that didn't help, I have to admit. If we could have met face to face with these people, we
Right.
could have cut easily 6-8 months off the project.
I would say so. Because these projects have been done for over a year, Waterville and Whitney.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So, and 693 as well. I mean, they were both,
everything except the bridge construction has been done for almost a year now.
And we're just not getting paid.
Correct.
Right.
And where we at the bridge, I know we were looking for the 90% mark.
Oh, it's at the 90% mark
Yeah.
above.
you got, they set the superstructure last Wednesday. And like I said, they're supposed to pave it and put guardrails on it.
Next week.
They set the steel on the deck. They've got a closure pour on both ends, concrete.
Yeah.
And then they were gonna pave it, backfill, and then pave it, and then put the guardrails on.
Most of the 95% of the backfill, I would say, is done. It's just that one little approach to the last little pour.
Yep,
Then the pavement, guardrails, and.
didn't need more than what, 4 loads of fill probably?
Probably.
And they're paving from 108. No, just
No,
just
it's
the
just
just
the
the
deck.
approach
I
just
think
the
they're
deck.
gonna Try to stretch it a little bit.
Okay.
Towards the.
intersection.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
But, you can only.
Yeah, you can only
You gotta
stretch.
explain things to FEMA, remember?
So after.
Not
we
anymore.
pave it And after they guardrail it, we're kind of, that's 100%.
Pretty much.
Sounds
Except for
like
backfill?
basically, he said guardrail, pavement and signs and just little general house cleaning, I think. But we've got till the 15th of September.
Right.
And Richard, the state guy, originally kept saying, you need an extension, you need an extension. Then after he saw the superstructure in place, he said, wait till after Labor Day.
Right.
And then make a decision, which is just a matter of pushing one button on the FEMA portal,
Okay.
we hope. You wanna see numbers? That's the John Deere number.
Do you have cat and
I have Cat written down.
case?
Case was, yeah, I got him too. I don't have from printed, but I do not have John, I don't have Caterpillar thing with me, that's down the ground.
I'll look at that one, for sure.
This is for backhoe
Grader.
grader.
See what the magic number is. What's the
I wanna get
timeline?
He's got one coming in, he says. He also told me that he has he calls it a really nice shape, 772. There's more to that, Josh. 772 with 5,000 hours coming in, but he hasn't got back to me on that one yet. That price right there
Yeah.
is without a wing, is without a front blade, which I specifically asked him for.
Okay.
He's also got,
So he basically just sent you a quote on what he has coming in, not what you wanted.
Right.
Okay.
and he's actually taken the 30,000 for a trade-off somewhere.
And this was what the other one was around right here, right?
No, the other one was lower.
Lower than that.
I believe
Okay.
so.
Mm.
This has the rack like the grader we have now does up here.
Yep.
The one, this one has the one that's got hydraulic over electric, which is
Okay.
what most Caterpillar did was they have the rack.
Yeah, it's
Okay, so it's a cheaper model. So he said that would add about $20,000 to Caterpillar bid,
Okay.
somewhere in that area.
Which would put him here.
Very close.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
let me just stick that in your box and I can put it.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get the other two quotes,
I
we'll
can.
put them together and then we can.
And like I said, he's working on,
Did anybody else want to see that?
No, I'm fine.
he's working
Did you want
on,
to see
I
that?
was kind of listening.
Nope, I'll wait for the other two.
It was.
Yeah.
he's waiting for
Now we can dream
governmental.
about it.
He's waiting.
He's looking for governmental stuff too.
That's standing down in a hole looking up at the new bridge deck.
Okay, and this didn't have to be taken out?
That, it is taken out down to bedrock.
That is right there?
Yeah. The remainder of the head walls is here, but the middle is taken down to bedrock.
Oh, okay. Okay.
If that one floods, there's gonna be a problem.
Well, I
There's
just remember
several pictures
Rodney
there if you want.
asking about, a head wall that had washed out.
Tetro took that out.
They did take that out. Okay.
Yeah, they actually went down, when they were doing the demo, they went down with some 5-gallon pails and pulled some pieces out of there too.
They did a good job.
They did,
5-gallon pails.
5-gallon
Yeah.
pails. And Rodney said, that's not what I'm after the big stuff, but they went down, sent a
Hey, that's impressive.
couple of younger
They
people
Yep,
out
did,
there.
they did.
That's cool. I wanna swing down, take a look at it.
That's,
I should have followed you guys down that day, brought the kids so they could see that. That would have been cool.
it's quite a,
Is that it, Mac?
Yep.
right down to Terry if she wants to look at
No,
it.
the hydro seeder is usually what I ask you about. I'm out of it now. I'll have to find something new to talk to you about.
And that's,
There's always something.
you good? Okay.
I have a question on Waterville Mountain, because I've been traveling a little bit lately. Who owns by the Bear's Den, the big rock?
Which side?
It's right at it.
Right at it. The line is somewhere just on our side of it, where it tips off and heads to Waterville. They own all of that, plus just a little bit of the top. So it's one of those,
It's not ours, it's not theirs.
that's the way they look at it.
Obviously, nobody's taking care of it. It's a mess up there.
Mark was up there, when was it we got all the compliments about that road?
Did he just go recently?
No, it was probably a month ago.
Oh God, no, I've traveled it since then. And it was like,
Well, that, you know, that gully
all
washer
over
that we got yesterday, stuff like that really hurts those roads. As steep as they are, and there's really no place for the water to go except down the road.
no, the whole road was a mess. From that rock, where that rock is, all the way down to like where Larry,
Like down by Seth's.
not quite as far as
No.
Seth's.
The
It's
90.
not bad once you get to that piece.
Okay.
Where Larry Lawyer's,
Camp or
not camp,
the house?
the lines
Okay.
that come right there.
Oh, that far up? Okay.
Yeah, that whole hill was, there was even some washout there.
Well, like I say, you get the right rain, and we've got a lot of right rains this summer, and it's hard on those things, especially that kind of road. Where it's,
So when is he, so the grader will be back up,
It
what?
seemed like we needed to add material. Like,
Well, it's, part of the problem is, Terry, we just did add a lot of material to that, and it hasn't really been compacted down to where it should be yet. I mean, it was, the road was gone.
No, I know.
And
I
we
know.
hauled, we hauled
I
and
went
hauled
up there
and
before
hauled.
and it wasn't that bad. But when I went probably, oh, my mother's been in rehab 3 weeks. So about 3 weeks ago, maybe. Yeah, just about 3 weeks. And like, it was scary on that road. It was washed out pretty
I
bad.
have to admit, it's been over a month since I've been over it, so I.
First time
can't-
I've been over it and I don't know how long.
Okay.
But it looked good when they got it done before.
So it needs a grading.
Needs something.
Yeah.
Pave it.
Did the,
Just to the bottom of the rock though.
did the refrigerator disappear
No,
from the last meeting? It's still there?
no, we
My
haven't had the little
refrigerator?
truck. If we're gonna use my tractor, we need to have the little truck,
Oh,
so
that
I can't
refrigerator.
lift it up high enough to go in the big truck,
I got you.
okay?
Tammy wants one removed from.
That's my excuse and I'm sticking to it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I think I remember talking, yeah, okay.
Not really our issue.
No, review the mail. I have one thing here. Hurst house repairs, monument engraving estimate, we covered. External audit,
Yeah, we held off for that
Go
until
back to
it
Rosalie.
was supposed to be this meeting when we were all here.
Well, we're still
not
only
all
got
there.
one response, right?
Was it only one? Or
yeah, we were hoping for some locals.
We were hoping for more, we've only got
Are
one
you,
response so far.
Are you spectating or do you have a concern issue you'd like brought forward?
Oh, I was just taking the sticker off the window from the front of the event, and I said, oh, they're having a meeting, I'll stop in and say, hey.
How did that go, Rosalie?
Awesome.
Good.
250 halves, all but 32 sold. 250 pounds of pork, all but 5 pounds went.
What was this now?
Hungry folks.
The,
A lot of people. We opened up the 2 acres, and it fills out with parking.
Wow,
So thank you for asking. Yes, it was a huge success this year.
good. I'm
What
happy
was
for
it,
you.
Rosalie? I missed what it was.
Our annual fundraiser.
Oh, yes, I did see your poster on that. I wasn't around for the weekend. We had a big wedding.
or the weekend.
Glad it was successful though. I hear the volleyball's been a good time too.
Well, it was open.
Nice.
We had the whole Northeast District schools this summer over there. We had Richford, Berkshire, Montgomery, Sheldon, Enosburg, and Bakersfield. Over 300 kids we fed and took care of this summer on the Fridays in August and July. So,
Every Friday in August and July? Wow.
August 1 week. So, and they want to come more next year. So we opened up some worms.
Oh, good.
Have a good one.
thanks for
Take care.
stopping in.
Bye, Rosalie.
Did you want this mail?
What's that? Yes,
Should you-
I just opened it. This is, you guys signed something last week and I just added my signature to it for the renaming of the Brooks, P.E.G. Brook, School Brook, Bob's Brook. This was the only other thing in there, which is, a letter on, I just read the damn thing too. Equity at local levels and inclusion, diversity, equity, actions, and leadership. There's nothing else in the mail, so we're good there. Hurst house repairs. I saw some stuff on that in the minutes as I was reading. Is there any updates from the last meeting?
Any updates on what?
What
What
other
the,
than what I read, just that there was some,
what the estimate was, you mean?
yeah,
And you notice that estimate was for stabilization, and he said stabilization until it could be fixed properly.
okay.
And I had also asked for 2 other estimates. And one of those estimates was from Mike Lanfear. For those that are familiar with him, he's excellent at doing that kind of foundation work. And he's had some medical issues that have put him out of the picture this summer. But he's getting back on his feet and will come where he can get out of the truck and look at it. But what he sees is that the sills are rotted on the west side. The floor in where the Hurst used to be is collapsed. And that's the area that we need for Maria or whoever to park their equipment so they don't have to trailer it back and forth all the time. And so,
Just so you know,
I saw
we
that.
didn't know Maria was parking her
Okay.
lawn tractor over there, and apparently we own that, not the cemetery.
Okay. Yep, I did read that, so.
and so the cemetery commission had requested ARPA funds. But in the process, it was like, we should get the town involved in this because the town owns the building.
Okay.
And on the ARPA funds, it does qualify for funds to repair that building,
Okay.
okay? So we've asked for 3 estimates. Lyle gave his to stabilize it. We haven't got the estimates on the other 2,
Okay.
but we've got kind of a cooperation agreement, verbal. Mike Lanfear is willing to, provide his expertise. He also has a sawmill, so he could saw out the beams that would be needed. And he said what he perceives to be doing is putting a new beam in there, jacking up that center portion. And the other person that Lyle had contacted was Larry, and Larry
Yep.
said the same thing.
Yep.
Jack up
Larry.
that center
Larry
portion.
Lawyer.
Oh, okay.
Westland.
Wescott? Oh, Larry Lawyer also has a mill.
Okay,
Okay.
so you jack up that center portion and get a new beam in there, and you can rebuild the sills and everything. And he said put crushed stone in there and stone and cinder blocks.
Crushed stone and some drainage pipe.
It's not all that wet.
I was gonna say, it shouldn't be wet in there, it's all sand.
Maybe you're right. Yeah.
That's sand just as deep as you can go right there.
Yeah. So he had some good ideas and just getting the guys together and making sure everybody will work well together.
McNewitt's got a nice mill too.
Okay. So he's got a bigger one than I thought, but it's good.
Okay,
It's bigger than
A
mine.
lot of work can be done with volunteer
okay.
help.
So I think this sounds more along the lines of similar to the library, if you will, where figure out what needs to be done, see what we can tackle with volunteer work, and then bring it to a voting item.
Right, we'll stay on track with it, with the ARPA, but we'll have to kind of partner with the town on this project.
Yep.
So we'll just communicate back and forth and
Do you remember the dimensions of that building, Linda?
got it written down in a safe place. So I can send that to you.
Okay, I'm just wondering, you're gonna need obviously sills or beams that go across that are full length of the building, right?
Yeah.
And you're gonna want hemlock, correct?
That guy in St. Albans is going out of business at Hudax, I heard.
He was
So
a
I'm
hardwood
just
mill.
wondering if I have any
Way.
logs that
He was a hardwood mill.
might
Old
be
beans.
suitable.
What's that mean?
No, you
Saw-
can't have my
saw
beams,
just
the iron is still standing.
Maple, oak,
But I,
cherry.
We wouldn't want that.
green
Right,
hemlock,
You'd be looking, well, I mean,
I
it's
can-
green, but it's gonna be a lot more.
I might be able to supply.
He's giving,
Yeah,
So,
And
I'll
let me
tell
see
you the
what
story
mine
after,
says.
because I don't want
Hmm?
it public.
like Bakersfield and
There's
he
a
will
good story
help
behind
us.
that whole-
He said it
what,
would be reasonable.
Okay,
if you know, or if you can find out what the dimensions are on the beam, you said you have hemlock?
I have hemlock, I don't know if I have any that are long enough. That building's gotta be 30 feet square.
I don't think it's,
Close to it, yes.
Okay,
I mean, you're not gonna span that, you're gonna have a huge sawmill to span a third to,
well,
No,
you
a
could do
single
it
beam.
with 216s and do a splice in the middle.
Absolutely,
On a cinder block pier,
yep,
okay?
yep.
You do a half lap splice and
Right, I just thought you were saying you were gonna span the whole thing.
Oh, God.
I don't know anybody
Oh,
that's
God.
milling 30-foot lumber.
No,
I was gonna say Lamel only takes
no.
20, and that's a big Canadian mill.
Okay.
We do have, because the school, the career center also has a nice mill,
Okay.
portable. So if we could get the logs here, we could possibly mill it
But I
out.
think what he's got is already seasoned too, so
Okay.
let me check.
No, they made, that whole
Let's see
farm,
what-
my whole farm was made out of ground up green hemlock. You can stick your hand through the gaps in the boards, but it's lasted a long time.
All those old hand-hewn beams were pine rock.
Yeah.
Yes. So we'll keep you abreast of what's going on and keep our application in with the ARPA group.
Okay.
That's agreeable with you. I see that's what other towns are doing when they have a cemetery commission that needs something. They're teaming with.
Hey, we're all part of the same community,
Exactly. And
so,
we all want the same thing. We want
Yeah.
things to last and look good.
we've
So-
just got,
We have a
Yes,
lot of,
sir.
we've got too many old buildings. It's
We did put a padlock on that because it was,
not safe.
well, it shouldn't be open like that, and there was a couple of young ladies that were going in and exploring. So it's like, nope, not gonna happen.
but we have that problem in a lot of our old buildings.
Yeah.
Alright,
Okay,
alright,
you, Linda.
thank you, Linda.
thank you.
External audit bid selection. Do we have any others?
No.
We just have the one, right?
Everybody's
Just, that- as far as I know, we've only got one.
Touch it.
Yep. Alright, we're gonna bump that.
Yep.
Yeah. Academy update, which we'll probably bump also since Paul will be here
Paul
for
is
the next
not
meeting.
here. We are planning a meeting, we were planning a meeting in Richford, the three of us, as just a common ground, to discuss some things, but that Paul's issue is going to affect that meeting as well.
Okay.
So hopefully,
Hopefully.
we were talking about the first week in September, which I know makes it short notice for any kind of event October 1st. I'll keep you in a loop as much as I know things. We might have to postpone everything a little bit, but keep it in the back of your mind, please, if you want to
Okay.
participate, and anybody else, in the community that might want to participate in this. I know the church is thinking about it. There's several small community people, organizations, there we go, sorry, that we're considering it, but I don't have anybody firm yet. So,
Alright,
and that would include you too, as Rosalie.
For ARPA funds?
No, it's just it's going to be an informational meeting
Oh,
for Brigham
Brigham.
Academy. We were trying to do it for October 1st, and we were just looking for events on that day that could help draw people. The more people we can get interested in this, the more information we can get.
What are the people, they're not touring it, are they?
If we tour, it will only be the common room. Okay?
which is where the
We'll have
stage
to
is.
set up lighting, all the windows are closed up, it's darker than
Right,
Hades in
and
there.
the steps are terrible.
We'll have to have a
Well, you'd have
generator.
to come
There's
in off
nothing
the-
good about that.
No,
place.
no, we'd have to come in off the backside, off the
Yeah.
playground side, through that door. There is no,
No,
there's
we're
a
not,
step
we're not
there,
gonna
but-
open anything else up, no way.
Yeah.
Just that one on the backside.
so what you're trying to do is put together, some panels or some people on a committee to figure
got
out.
that. What we're looking
to
for-
advertise for this project?
We're looking for opinions, yes. The preliminary studies have been done as to what this building can support. We've had people in and dug test pits. We know what the land will support for septic system. How many units? Approximately 22 units. They're talking about community involvement in the auditorium upstairs, because we need to keep that. We need to keep one staircase. We need to keep the common room where we used to call it study hall. We need to keep that downstairs. The rest of the building is probably going to change on the interior quite a bit. We're going to
This
lose.
is gonna belong to the town, or is it somebody purchasing it? What's happening?
That has not been decided yet. It has been talked about what would be best. As far as being able to get grants, it probably would be best for the town to own the building.
Who owns it now?
Town. And if the town does this and accepts the grants, they would have to continue to own it for 20 years, I believe.
So the current,
You've obviously researched some of this yourself. Okay.
so the current.
I almost bought it for $34,000 back in 1998.
You want it for $1?
So the roof is near end of life. Whose responsibility will it be to get a new roof on that through this process where they're getting grants?
The roof is fine.
No,
Didn't they take the slate off at one time?
they did.
The roof has been replaced.
But not with slate.
No.
No.
It was a 30-year roof and that was over 30 years ago.
Was it?
You look above the,
No, it wasn't 30 years ago.
wasn't it?
It's been a while.
Jesus.
There's one I was on the school board.
Now I'm feeling old.
I said I looked into purchasing that building in 98.
Oh.
So, it's been a while.
It would all be
Look
part
right
of,
across at the roof, across from where the principal's house. Look at that area right up there.
There are a lot of problems with the building. This is its last hurrah. Let's face it. If we don't get something done on this project, we're going to lose it.
Yes,
And no ARPA funds?
No.
not sufficient.
No,
one, yeah.
Well,
I don't believe that would
Wouldn't
qualify.
qualify for it anyways.
And my other question that she brought up, that I have a question for, didn't we get like a $30,000 grant because we were gonna keep it,
45,000
okay, $45,000 grant to keep
Permits.
for permits and,
for a planning grant.
but when we took.
Are you talking
slate,
about the planning grant?
It's a planning grant.
Okay, it was
I thought- But
$45,000.
I thought at one point, we lost that reason for the historical part because we took the slate off.
No.
No.
So
It's still on the historic registry.
Yeah.
But didn't we have to pay that $30,000 back or
No.
something?
There was $90,000 they got.
For the roof, yeah, that was quite a while ago, and that was considerably more than 30,000.
Yeah,
No, I'm just remembering something about $30,000.
The latest planning grant was $45,000. We're at near the end of that phase. This public informational meeting will pretty much mark the end of the planning grant phase. After that, we need to go into what they call the implementation phase, which is more grants.
The woman who's, spearheading this, I guess you would call it,
Heidi is not spearheading this.
she's not anymore.
No.
Okay,
The person spearheading this is Paul Dreher.
okay.
Heidi is lurking in the background.
lurking?
Wrong phrase. She's in the background and waiting to do the construction. She's not interested in owning it. Okay?
Right.
And she's the lady from Canada?
Yes. Yes.
And who is in charge right now? You said
Paul Dreher.
Paul Dreher
Yes. He's an architect.
here or up there?
Here. He lives in Richford.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause the way I understood it is the town will own the building, but the building itself should be self-sufficient in its,
Should be,
in
yes.
its renters and what maintenance would need to be done within that first 20 years.
The way I've been told, Josh, how this works is a building like this, housing the targeted population that we plan to put in there, and that's basically the elderly, should be available for grants in perpetuity.
True, yeah.
Okay? So it's almost as if, you know, when you do this and set it up, you're going to have full-time grant writers just looking
Yeah.
all the time. They're out there. A building like this will be eligible for the purpose it's going to be used for. Pardon?
Will it be registered as a 501c3?
That is the plan.
And what's the plan for parking?
There's a couple options that have been discussed.
Yeah.
Nothing's finalized at this point.
I mean, there are so many things that are up in the air right now, Linda.
There's multiple.
Leachfield's gonna go on the campus.
Huh?
Leachfield will go on the campus, right?
Yes.
There's multiple.
No parking there, that's right.
Multiple engineers and building engineers, site engineers that have been there, looked at it.
Yes.
It's not a one-man crew by any means. When they came and met with us the first time, I was there. There's 5 of them or 6 of them that came when we had the meeting
Yeah, there's a bunch
5
of them.
years back. It seems to be, and again, I've never gone down this road before, so I'm not really sure, but they seem to have done this before and have their ducks in a row and know what it requires. And when they met with us the first time, or the first couple times, they made it seem like if this building wasn't gonna fit, they'd just walk away. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's nothing to them.
Pretty much.
If it's not gonna work, if they don't think it's gonna work, they're not gonna invest their time in it.
But let's face it, and let's be honest. The cheaper option would be to tear the place down and build new. So we're trying to respect the wishes of the town. It's a historical site. Obviously, the Historical Preservation Trust is very interested and very influential in trying to keep it standing.
It's not really the wishes of the town, or they'd have voted it in years ago. We had it on our school ballot for how many years in a row, and the town voted it down.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't want it gone, they just
They-
don't wanna pay to fix it.
Right.
Right,
It's like the wishes of
that's
10
exactly
million
it,
people.
Josh. They want it fixed, but they don't want to pay for it.
Right.
I'm sorry, but that's blunt, and it's probably going to upset a few people if they listen to the meeting, but it's the truth.
It is.
It's just like anything, it's,
But the building is in bad.
It is
You don't
deteriorating.
realize how bad till you get up close to it.
It is
Like
deteriorating
somebody
fast.
stealing bricks off the back, so one whole wall's bowed right out now.
I'm worried about the chimney falling down.
The
Look at
chimney
it.
looks like any day now, good wind will take that thing toppling.
That's why we take care of the historical society when things show up.
so,
So we do have
Well, we're not
insurance on
gonna
this
put
building,
money
correct?
into a building that's not used.
Minimal, yeah.
We have minimal insurance.
Oh, you mean liability? Yes,
I don't know, what do we have for coverage on that building?
not much.
If we're gonna have people inside of it?
We have liability. And we'll absolutely make sure that we're covered.
It's not that.
I don't know, I haven't got it in years.
The study hall,
They stopped the
study
school
hall,
from
other
letting
than being
people
dirty,
in.
isn't bad.
Right.
When the school owned it.
Considering the amount of years that it's been sitting idle.
yeah.
The pigeons didn't help. The kids smashing the glass out of the windows, let the pigeons in, and
I think the pigeons were in before all the glass got smashed, but
Well,
No,
we
it only
we
takes
paid
one
a lot
window.
of money to get rid of the pigeons when I was on the school board.
yeah, it only takes
Yeah.
one window, and they know.
Oh, yeah.
They're in.
We had it all cleaned up at one time, but not
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
We did. I was part of that. School. She was on the school board, and we went in and we hauled everything out, and it looked pretty good then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, so,
Doesn't look so good now.
meeting with Paul,
But this group
In the
is
future.
optimistic and it's Time for a lot of grants.
The people who know about these kind of projects and are used to spending money and gathering grants are optimistic, yes.
Again, we don't know that stuff, so we're kind of going on their expertise.
Yeah, exactly.
And you need to.
Yep.
So will the final say be for the town? It'll be voted for the town, by the town?
If the grants
have
keep
to.
coming, then
This group keeps going.
yeah, they keep going. And they're finding the grants, correct?
Yes.
They're, as I say, we have done nothing except for make sure that, so the way it works is it's a reimbursement grant. So we pay for something,
We
we
spend
get
it,
reimbursed.
we spend it, and the project's done, we apply for reimbursement.
Okay.
We provide the
Documentation.
documentation for it, and we get reimbursed.
So as long as that keeps going and the building gets improved, yeah.
I do have a question off the site here, what we're talking about. How much do we still owe on the loans and things that we did for the embezzlement? How much we still got left on that?
She only pays, she doesn't pay $1,000 a year.
Doesn't pay the interest.
No, I'm just curious, because I remember.
It's basically
we had
the
to
same.
borrow just to keep the.
It's basically the same, Rosalie,
Okay,
because what she pays doesn't cover the interest if we have, honestly. If we had to borrow that money back, fortunately we didn't, because most of it was out of the trust funds, and this was almost 40 years ago.
so are we rolling over this loan? I
There
guess
is no
that's what it
loan.
was.
There is no loan.
We didn't have to borrow money to cover that?
No.
We don't
Town
have
sucked it up.
trust funds.
The town sucked it up and made it work.
Trying to feel like
She
we're
must
supposed
have been bonded.
50,
We didn't get money
50?
back.
was it? Something like that.
Hmm?
The bonding of town officers wasn't much back then.
We
Is it
didn't,
50 per person?
You're talking before I was born, sorry.
So
honestly, it was.
when I was on the school board, I was 50. But it was
Yeah.
each one of us.
Yeah.
We're bonded for 50,000.
Oh, 50,000, I thought it was 50.
The numbers were,
50,000.
weren't they, the estimates on what she embezzled were somewhere upwards of $640,000, if I can remember correctly?
Yeah, and they said it was probably higher than that.
Probably, but that's what they could prove.
That's what they could prove.
Well, I just was trying, I'm not trying to drag it out, but I was just thinking that,
Be nice to have that back now, wouldn't it?
well, I remember when Tira, who's now 45 almost, next week, we would be just starting to pay on the principal of the money, not that we had to borrow, so the heirs of Brigham Academy wouldn't sue us. Maybe that's where I'm thinking some money came in.
The heirs were satisfied, but I don't remember quite how. That was before my time on the select board, way before. I do not remember how,
Documentation
but
can be
the heirs were
But I
satisfied.
don't know
Yeah.
whatever happened.
You'd think that the hospital, the Brigham Women's Hospital, would have donated a little money to help keep it going, but,
Has anybody reached out?
yep.
Alright.
To keep what going? Brigham Academy?
Hmm?
To keep Brigham Academy going?
No, that wasn't one and the same though.
They're the same family.
Well, the embezzlement and the closing.
No,
wasn't the
no.
same.
No, they weren't.
No.
No,
Thank you for that answer.
Alright.
I just was curious if we're still paying our loan.
No,
No.
no.
Alright. East Bakersfield Culvert project. Circling back here.
The last I knew,
Just waiting.
this is,
No new info.
this is just, all it was an estimate as to
Right.
what should be done and how much it would cost.
Exactly.
As far as that is concerned, Tyler Billingsley did his due diligence, gave them an estimate, and
He was just the engineer that they contacted, basically.
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Nothing new then.
correct?
And town hall furnace, nothing new on that one. Any others?
John,
No,
Alright,
I have no others.
no
You weren't
others.
here last week, I went 2
Alright,
weeks
I'm
ago.
gonna
I
make a
had no
motion
others
to
then.
adjourn.
I'll second that.
Motion to adjourn has been made and seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Boy.
Aye.
Any opposed? Have a good night.